the leftovers. For those of you who have just started rocking with me over the past few months, you may not be familiar with the leftovers. As a matter of fact, I don't know when's the last time I did an episode of the leftovers, but I used to do this segment where when I would have downloads of channel information or dreams and things of that nature after Soul Food Sundays, but was relative to Soul Food Sundays, I would come back and we would make something real good of the leftovers. So as a result of what's been coming through to me here lately, I was like, ooh, I gotta do a leftovers on this. So I was talking to my homegirl. She was like, you gonna get you some Cinnabar, watch your reading. And she was like, man, you've been dropping some nuggets. And I was like, you know what? Actually, I think I'm gonna have to do some kind of a extended version of that reading or do the leftovers. So I was telling her about the leftovers because so much has been coming through to me since I did the episode of Soul Food Sundays. I made some notes. Alchemizing and manifesting passion and romance with swords, scales, and arrows. Now, y'all hang in there with me because I have not organized this information at all. I literally just got the fire under my ass to go ahead and do this because when I was sitting in my ancestor altar and I closed my eyes to meditate, I saw a vision of a woman on a dock, right? And she was facing me. And in my meditations, I've been seeing a dock. I think I told y'all about that, how I saw the Sphinx and there was a dock leading from the Sphinx, like dead in the center of it. And on each side of the dock, you could see the Nile River. You could see water, right? And how this elephant was running down the dock, and when I saw the elephant come closer, it was me. And that the elephant represent Happy, the spirit, water spirit Happy, right? So we're gonna get into all of that because so much has been coming to me, but we're gonna start with the vision of the woman that I saw, because I was having that meditative moment. I had that vision and I realized, oh shit, this is the woman, the scene in the Three of Wands card in the Angel of Wisdom deck. I had just picked up the Angel of Wisdom deck to pull cards in my altar. I always pull from whatever deck I'm being intuitively led to pull from. And most of the time, it's the Hoodoo Tarot. However, this time, and it does vary, but this time, just like 311, 316, shout out to my brother Mun, it was the Angels of Wisdom, which I've never used this deck at my ancestor altar. Not that I can recall anyway. And so I thought that was odd from the jump, right? So I have the vision. I realized, oh shit, that's the Three of Wands from the Angel of Wisdom deck. So I opened the deck and pull her out. And is that not a dock? Is that not a body of water like the Nile River? And this Three of Wands energy. Oh, I meant to give y'all a disclaimer about my nails. Because I'm in the process of soaking them out. I got tired. I probably needed a whole nother hour just to get this off. But anywho. So here we are with this Three of Wands energy representing the energy of the feminine energy in these twin flame dynamics, but also for those of you who do not resonate with being on the twin flame journey. We could just be talking about your masculine and feminine integrating that energy within yourself. So that feminine aspect, whether outside of you or in you, is in an expansive energy, waiting on her ships to come in. Knowing that there's better out there for her than what she currently has or has currently been receiving, and she knows that because she has planted seeds and she's waiting to reap the reward of her harvest. So she just looking good as she want to look, standing there like a queen. And in this image, she not even looking out. She got her back turned because she's not preoccupied with the weight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's coming. I ain't worried about it. I ain't gonna stand here and stare out as if I don't got other shit that I can be doing while I wait. I ain't gonna be around here looking stupid and depressed, looking toe down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep my spirits high and govern myself like the queen that I am while I wait on my ships to come in. And look, she ain't got to wait because it has arrived. It has not landed, but it is within her sight. You know what I'm saying? And in this, and I never paid attention to this before, and this I didn't see in my vision of the ship in the sky. I just saw her on the dock in the water, and it was bright like this, kind of like sunny or whatever. So she got the moon out behind her, which always fascinates me how we can see the moon in the daytime. So she got the moon out, and then you have this ship right here, right? And this ship has a ribbon going across it, and it says opportunity. So opportunities are coming in for the feminine energies, and it is as a result of her not being so focused on it, just planting the seeds, watering them, and going about her business for them to cultivate and grow, and for things to come back around full circle. So that is the energy of the divine feminines, right? We're gonna get back to her in a minute, because what that made me think about, the dream that I had with me on the dock, Hoppy and the Sphinx and all of that, right, was also that there's another image that's been coming to me about when I first had the dream about the dock. I didn't think about her, this 301. I thought about the world card and the energy oracle deck. Totally different oracle deck, right? So in that card, you got this individual with this hood on, this mysterious being, this secretive being on a dock. They on this dock, same kind of dock as this lady. Oh, girl. But it's like two different scenes. You know what I'm saying? He's looking out at the world above him, which is also symbolic of the moon. You got this here darkness here. So it's kind of like an eclipse energy where the sun is shining on the moon, and more of what the moon's energy is being revealed. And as that light is being shined on the moon and that's being revealed, he's seeing that the world is ahead of him. The opportunities, there's so many opportunities out there. A similar expansive energy, right? This one being represented by the number 3, which represents being in alignment. This one represented by the 29, which breaks down to an 11, which is a master number, because this is the masculine energy. Mastering a cycle, the energy that kept him bound in a cycle, ending that cycle and moving forward toward greater opportunities, realizing that I'm not limited out after all. There's a whole new world, like I said, with the Aladdin song, that song from Aladdin, out there waiting on me to explore it. And a lot of what I thought I'd never have, never achieve, never be worthy of, never align with, it's not foreign at all. It's not limited to me at all. It's not something that the divine doesn't want me to have because I'm being punished in some way. I'm actually worthy of it. I'm actually an heir of that abundance. And you got this water around him on this dock. So this is the masculine doing that shadow work, closing out cycles, becoming more open to new cycles than he ever has before. Just saw 1001, because this is very much symbolic of the mirroring between the two, of the masculine and the feminine energy. Y'all, this is two different decks, both of which I have had visions of at separate times. So we seeing where we got the Three of Wands representing the feminine energy. We got the World card representing the masculine energy. Three of Wands being a a minor arcana. So this is describing the feminist day-to-day operation. This is how she moving from day to day. You know what I'm saying? But the World card is major arcana. So this is a major shift for the masculine. You know what I'm saying? This is big change. This is some ain't no going back. Everything around me is going to be positively affected by me overcoming this cycle and learning this lesson, right? So we're gonna jump back over here to well, before we jump to the feminine, I want to tie this into how this applies to Soul Food Sundays, right? Because it's the leftovers. So what it made me think about is that there's an item, some symbolism that I didn't include in Soul Food Sunday. So, you know, we talked about alchemizing and manifesting, and the magician using the sword, the scales, and the arrows. And I started out with the swords and scales in mind, but during the reading, I was like, oh shit, I have been having a lot of arrow symbolism too. Well, one thing that came to mind after the reading is the anchor. And I mentioned the importance of anchoring in the reading. But it really started to stand out to me after I did the reading. And it, like the rest of the items, is made of metal. It's also relevant to alchemy, which is the turning a lesser, lower quality metal like lead into gold or silver or some more higher quality metal or substance. And so in the same way that you're able to do that with metal, we're able to do that with our energy. We're able to do that with our experiences. And the masculines and the feminines as magicians are manifesting a new beginning with one another as they do this work to alchemize their experiences and to get in alignment, which is what the scales was talking about, right? They're using their arrows to zero in on what it is that they desire, their goal, like a sharpshooter. You know what I'm saying? Like just being able to go after what it is that you desire because you've set your sights on your goal. You're no longer distracted, using your sword to fight off anything that would prevent that. To use your thoughts, to use your communication, to see the truth of a matter, to combat anything that would distract you from the end goal. And the end goal is cosmic justice. We mentioned Mayat, getting in balance, getting aligned with your masculine and feminine energy. And for those of you who resonate with being on a twin flame journey, and we talking about these external energies as well as internal, the goal is to get in alignment and get in balance with your counterpart so that you can begin this divine mission, live the life that the divine has blessed, anointed for you, because you know the words say, touch not my anointed ones. So believe that if you are on this journey, you are divinely protected, and what you are experiencing is just to help you help us, child, overcome the fears and the doubts and the poverty consciousness and the lack consciousness and the ancestral wounding and generational curses that have gotten us off track. But ultimately, it's conditioning us. It's the training grounds for which we become healers. So we got the energy of the masculine and the feminine, and the significance of them needing to be anchored. Again, an anchor is this heavy metal object that you drop down into the water, right? So that you don't, so that you're safe, so that you don't drift off, so that you are grounded, so to speak. Water representing emotion, anchoring in water is not as foreign to a feminine energy as it is to a masculine energy. A lot of masculines are learning to navigate their emotions now that they're having a heart chakra awakening that has been triggered by their love for their divine feminine energy, right? So this anchoring is affecting the masculines in a more dramatic way, just off 1551, than possibly the feminists. Not to say that feminists don't be having some unhealthy emotional states or emotionally unintelligent, because there will be a whole ass lie. But it's more common for a masculine to struggle in that area, right? So we're going to look into the significance of the spiritual significance of the anchor before moving on to some of this other stuff that came up for me. I can't believe I got all that out in 16 minutes. You go, girl. So let's see. It says to have anchor in life may mean to have some hope, solace, meaning. I told y'all I saw 316, and when I see 316, that's my brother Mon reminded me, have hope. Solace, meaning something to hold on, some proper goal or direction. A spiritual anchor is something that helps keep us grounded, connected to what matters most, and able to cope with the challenges that life brings. For many of you, the feminine has been that to the masculine up to this point on the journey. And a lot of what the masculines are experiencing along the journey, again, I could be talking about just your internal masculine energy, because as someone who is naturally a feminine or dominantly a feminine energy, a lot of your journey up to this point may be learning to have healthy masculine energy and integrate that into who you are and achieve that balance with how you operate in the world. Take it how it resonates. But the feminine has been an anchoring factor in the masculine's life or along the journey up to this point. But what that does is it aggravates those around the masculine and that within the masculine that has grown accustomed to the masculine showing up in an unanchored, unfocused way, unbalanced, codependent way. So that's been the struggle for the masculines, and that is why they are experiencing this closing out a cycle of that type of shit, to start a new adventure, a move off into a whole new world, set off on a whole new journey or a whole new cycle with the feminine. So in the, let me make sure I ain't missing nothing from my notes, child. Oh yeah, in that Soul Food Sundays reading, I mentioned being anchored in the I am presence, and that is something that both the masculine and feminine are learning to do as well, or needing to learn to do. Because when you anchor into the I am presence, you anchor into the God within you, and then you're able to show up in this world more of an individual, independent, not so influenced by external factors, and instead more of a independent individual, able to have an interdependent, healthy divine connection. So in both of these cards here, I pointed out that you got the water. I had that vision of the Nile River, right? The Nile River, when it floods, tells the people that abundance is in store with them. Their crop will yield great harvest. That was the sign of the times for the Egyptians. And so in this, what's the name of this deck? The Aset Oracle, which Aset is Isis. The Nile River represents the flow of abundance, represented by the number 25. Your divine inheritance, 25 breaking down to a 7. The Nile River, it's like both parties are standing at the edge of this dock and can see their abundance before them, and just needing to do whatever work, take whatever action, shift whatever mindsets to align with that abundance flowing into their life. Because you got the flow of abundance with the Nile River represented. And I said in their vision, I was a sphinx, right? So the Sphinx in the Aset Oracle, represented by the number 41, which breaks down to a 5, is silent wisdom. So in the vision that I had, you had the Sphinx there. I was the Sphinx. And then you could see that dot coming from between, like right here, and the water on both sides. The feminines are aware to some degree of their divine feminine high priestess influence. They're tapped into their third eye, so they know a lot of what is transpiring with these masculine energies. They have a silent wisdom about the journey and what's going on, and they don't feel the need to be egoic and broadcast it, or be on some I'm right, you're wrong, trying to prove a point to the masculine or nobody else. They have this silent wisdom that is helping the masculine to heal, right? And she's helping him heal not only by embodying this Sphinx energy, but also, as I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned this in Soul Food Sundays or another reading. It might have been the one of the masculine or feminine readings. But I mentioned Nephthys. So this is Nephthys energy here, represented here. You got the moon, you got a tomb, and then you got Nephthys here. And she represents soul healing, because she taps in with that energy as well as a dark goddess to help the masculine to heal, to have a rebirth, to assist him energetically through his rebirth. And for a lot of feminists, they ain't got to cast nam spell. I know I wouldn't. I don't believe in that shit. Like, you can cast spells and do candle work for whatever the fuck you want. To each his own. I ain't knocking it. However, for me, I'm not casting no spell to make no motherfucker love me. Like, baby, that's unnecessary. Okay? But say you in a situation where you're a single woman and you know you want companionship. Shit, light that candle, put them ingredients in there that are symbolic of the type of man that you want to bring into your life, to manifest in your life. Or if you got one and you praying for his healing, and Lord keep him safe from danger seen and unseen, and may all his dreams and wishes come true, and his broken heart be healed and all that shit, light your white candle or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's different. But those come to me, attraction, make him leave his wife type of spells, and make him leave the other woman, and not the fuck. You ain't got to do all that. If you're a light, if you just a shining light, a leading example, a leader, a divine feminine, Isis, Oshun, Nephthys apparently energy, just being who you are, showing up authentic and present. It's so healing to a masculine energy that somewhere up in him is ready to change, ready to heal, ready to grow. You ain't gotta do all that extra.com. It's unnecessary. And I know a lot of masculines, when they tap in with a conscious woman, that's what they be thinking. As soon as they get the understanding, the awareness, I like her. Oh shit, she done put something on me. No. 9 times out of 10, that's not even the case. Now, I ain't saying it ain't some out there doing it, but I know I don't. I can only speak for me. And I have interacted with women who feel the same way as I do. Like, nah, I'm straight on all that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not necessary. If I got to do all that, baby, I don't want you. And for the ones who doing it, they must haven't watched The Craft, honey. Old girl had put a spell on the little dude she liked, her crush or whatever, and then she got him and couldn't get rid of him, and I think he raped her, or he tried to rape her or something like that. Like, no, I'm straight. But Nephthys is that energy that has been coming through to help assist the masculine with his healing, but has been doing it through silent wisdom, like a sphinx. So we got that Nile River symbolism, we got the silent wisdom, we got the Sphinx, the Nephthys. We talked about Ma'at with the cosmic justice coming in, balancing those scales. And one thing I wanted to mention about balancing the scales, I told y'all I was going to be all over the place, is that I didn't mention in Soul Food Sundays, is that the scales represent karma. And so the feminine here, this is the life she been living while this masculine balance out and go through his karma. And it may not be nothing he's done in this lifetime. It could be his ancestral karma. It could be some stuff he did in another, or experienced or had to work through in another lifetime in order to get in alignment with the feminine. So, had that happen, happy. At the time when I was talking to y'all about it, I had done my research on this happy energy, that energy of that elephant running up the dock, right, toward the Sphinx, not knowing that it represents a water spirit, which coincides with this anchor energy, because the anchor goes where? To the depths of the water. So the feminine has been bringing in that water spirit for the masculine, that emotion. Somebody who been operating throughout their life, not knowing how to navigate their emotions, to express their emotions, to what it means to be emotionally intelligent and not be codependent or narcissistic. She brings that water spirit in, because water is a feminine energy, right? So there's that. Happy represented by the number 13, which also represents what? Divine femininity. So back over here to the masculine. The masculine has been closing out this cycle and alchemizing, like the magician in the mirror. Reflecting, learning from some past experiences and mistakes, exploring some past hurts, relationships, in order to heal them and create something of more value from them before or while moving forward to a brighter future, a new cycle, better opportunities, more value in his life, right? So you got the magician here, this older gentleman, and a lot of times when you see elders or older people, it represents wisdom, right? So having learned from those experiences, not only having knowledge but having wisdom. And he has this blue light and a crystal, and then there's this kind of like orange red light, like fire, right? So alchemizing, the use of and learning about the elements, but tapping into that magician archetype to alchemize this experience and turn it into something more divine. But what I also noticed and thought about is the masculine is going from the magician, or using magician energy, to become, nope, I ain't even gonna go there. We're gonna explore the magician energy first. Then I'm gonna tell you what the masculine is becoming. So hold on, buckle up, buttercup, because we're gonna take a little ride before we start over there to what before we arrive to our destination of what the masculine is becoming. So I pulled out the sacred contracts, because it does not have a description of the magician per se, but it does have an entry for the alchemist, which is significant or the same meaning. I mean, it's a different name for same energy as the magician. So is the wizard, and so is the scientist and the inventor. When you think of wizards, you think of like Merlin, which is a character or individual that I mentioned in Soul Food Sundays as well when I was talking about the king and the stone, the sword and the stone. The story about how Merlin. So the story is that, because I did a little more research into it, even though I've read this full article on it before. So the stone represented Christianity in the story, and Merlin the wizard created this test to see who was the true king, and other people tried, but they couldn't get this sword out of the stone because only the true king could get it out of the stone, and that was King Arthur. And what that represents is Christianity is supposed to represent Christ consciousness, unconditional love, and only what belongs rightfully to somebody who has the capacity to operate in that fashion can be the king. So that is the journey that the masculine is on, to be that king and show up and get what he needs to get out of what it means to be Christian or operate in Christ consciousness, to tap into his Christed energy through his I am presence, his God self, becoming more of his God self. So it says, the alchemist, wizard, magician, scientist, inventor. These archetypes share the common trait of converting some form of matter into an altered expression of itself. The wizard and magician produce results outside the ordinary rules of life, a rebel, whether causing people to fall in love or objects to disappear. Whereas a wizard is associated with supernatural powers, the magician tends to be seen more as an entertainer. The alchemist is associated with vain attempts to turn base metals into gold, but in its highest manifestation, it seeks complete spiritual transformation. And that is the journey that the masculine is on. You may identify with this archetype if you are interested in a path of spiritual development that is aligned to the mystery schools or study of the laws of the universe. From this perspective, Nostradamus and Isaac Newton could both be classified as alchemists. The shadow sides of these archetypes are found in the misuse of power and knowledge that comes through them. Seduction and trickery brought about through magic and wizardry play on the desires of many people to transform their lives. I want to stop there because I feel like I don't talk about this enough. This magician energy, when the masculine was in his shadow energy, was showing up as a manipulator. Always had this power within them. It's their natural capacity, but wasn't using it for good. Was using it for their own selfish gain and to appease and appeal to others. But as a result of the spiritual transformation that they're having and the influence on this feminine of this feminine energy, is learning, like, she's his mirror. So she's showing him like, oh shit, damn, I'm a powerful motherfucker, but I've been using this shit all wrong. This shit actually ain't cute. I'm a grown-ass man out here behaving like this. So then there's some kind of like resentment, regret, shame that comes along with it. But that's just part of the journey. You'll get over it. That's just becoming aware of your shadow so that you can integrate it and heal it and move forward. Because how else you gonna be able to teach other people about that type of an energy when you haven't explored that within yourself? If you don't do that work, you're gonna just be judgmental. You're just gonna be pointing fingers at people, and you're gonna have a spiritual ego opposed to being a well-rounded, balanced, whole individual. So it says, for the alchemist, or wizard to be one of your circle of 12, it needs to be associated with your physical life in some significant way. Perhaps your work or living situation demands that you be especially inventive or interventionist on a regular basis. The shadow wizard manifests either as the use of ingenuity for criminal or unethical purposes, or as feelings of superiority based on high intellect. So that's another thing that speaks to the shadow of the magician. Again, you've always had this energy within you. You've always had power. But at some point on the journey, you didn't know just how you could use that power for good, how to channel it for good, because so much of your experiences were in alignment with you using it for bad. You ain't know what you didn't know. But now that you know, oh shit, I'm a powerful motherfucker. So what that means is I can't just be giving my energy out to anything and anybody. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be mindful. I know I do. I know my power. I know my gifts. I know that I can get around people and they present themselves to be one way to me and I can see straight through it. And because I operate in truth and justice, I'm tempted to tell you exactly what it is that I'm seeing and I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? That could get dangerous. So to avoid that, sometimes I gotta be discerning about who I even am interacting with, or where I go, or the type of people I'm around, the environments that I am even in, because I know my power. I know the power of my tongue. I know the power of my heart. Let me get around people who have no sense of independence or sovereignty or their power. It has happened a lot, especially around women. Hell, like it has happened here lately. It's been a lot of men too, especially like married men whose women's got them by the choke. Women's, did I just say women's? Whose women got them by the choke? You know what I'm saying? And their concept of marriage is like very similar to slavery. It'd be difficult for me to not like bring truth to light. You know what I'm saying? But I have to pick and choose my battles because I know my power. It ain't that I'm so self-righteous. I think I'm all that. I think I know it all. It's just like I know my power. I know my power. I know my worth. I can see other people's worth when they can't see their own. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it does not behoove me to be the one to be like, you better than that, right? You bound, you in captivity, you in slavery, right? Next thing you know, they in divorce court because of some shit that I said, and I don't feel no ways tired about it because I just help shift somebody's consciousness, help free somebody from a situation that has kept them unhappy. You know what I'm saying? So I just use that as an example. I ain't broke up nobody's relationships, y'all, that I know of. But they got some movies here that are an example of the magician energy. So you can see the shadow side of the magician in X-Men, Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. All right, here come the I Am app with the notification. Let me see what it's talking about. Some movie called Pirates of Silicon Valley that's on HBO. So somewhere in those movies you can see the magician archetype being exemplified. I feel confident about myself. The magician very much represents confident that you can manifest that which you desire. In fiction, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, which I was gonna bring that up. If any of this resonates with you, you may want to read The Alchemist, and the audiobook is on YouTube as well. The Mist of Avalon by Marion Z. Bradley, the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. And I started to pull from the Alice in Wonderland deck for this reading. But yeah, lots of magician archetype energy being brought up, and more so on the masculine side. It's like the masculine is exploring the light and the shadow of his ability to manifest and his magician energy. I think one thing that the masculine is really having to learn at this point of the journey is having balance in the midst of manifesting, and also, and this on the feminine side too, but manifesting, putting that energy, the effort or whatever out there, and then having the patience for it to come to fruition. Not feeling like you got to hover over it or hurry up and rush the process, and instead be present. Be present and be patient and be confident in what you've put out there. So that's something that both parties share in terms of lessons on the journey. I did not expound on, where is it? I'm taking it all the way back. I did not expound on the arrow, that focus, that getting rid of distractions, that hitting your target, that being a sharpshooter and hitting 100% of your target. So it says here in the secret signs and symbols that the arrow is a symbol of flight, penetration, and direction. As a weapon, the arrow is a symbol of the power of the person who carries it. All this power energy, tapping into your true, innate warrior power, right? So it says, along with the bow, as a sacred symbol, it is the attribute of the goddess of the hunt, Artemis. I told y'all I have been seeing Artemis symbology. Also known as Diana, as well as of Eros, who uses his arrows to pierce the people's hearts with love. I think Eros is a form of one of the types of love, like agape. There's agape, Eros. Let's see. I knew this one was gonna be long. I ain't even trying to rush. Agape, Eros. Yeah. So Eros is that erotic, passionate love. Philia is the love of friends and equals. Storge is the love of parents for children. And agape is the love of mankind. So those are like the four most known types of love. Well, it's saying that when that passionate, erotic, and I'm pretty sure that's where the word erotic stems from, Eros, is in, when that love is involved, there's a focus, there's a aim involved, right? So it says, Eros, who uses his arrows to pierce the people's heart with love. Here the arrow also serves, as a phallic symbol and an emblem of masculine power. The symbol of the heart pierced with an arrow, popular on Valentine's Day cards, is a covert symbol of sexual union. The arrow, as a symbol of direction, works on a physical level and a metaphorical level. The arrow that shoots high up into the sky is an emblem of the link between earth and heaven, a symbol of an idea of a message being carried directly to the gods. The arrow is used too as an analogy for swiftness and sureness, since the arrow travels in the direction in which it is shot. The astrological sign of Sagittarius, the hybrid creature that is always depicted in the process of shooting an arrow from his bow, has a Latin root sagitta. This means arrow, and is derived from a bird sagere that means to perceive keenly or quickly. Therefore, the arrow is symbolic of quick-wittedness and intuition. The masculines are coming to find that as they strengthen their intuition, their focus is sharpening. Like, they're coming to be more quick-witted and be able to really recognize what they want and don't want, what's a distraction and is not a distraction, what they enjoy and don't enjoy. So their arrow in that way is being sharpened, right? So it says, arrows were used by the ancient Arabians, Chaldeans, Greeks, and Tibetans in a form of divination called belomancy. This was practiced by shooting arrows in the air and reading a meaning from the direction of the arrows of their positions in relation to each other. Oh, I bet that's dope. For example, crossed or touching arrows meant no. Later, the arrows had words written on them to make any answers even more definitive. So as you can see, arrows, just like anchors and swords and scales, have been used spiritually as well as physically for a long ass time. So also in that reading, we talked about, so the masculine is coming to alchemize past pain, experiences, relationships, sharpening their focus, becoming more attentive and aware and more drawn to the feminine energy, having an appreciation for the healing energy that she brings in, and having some understanding of her silent wisdom. So while she thinking he don't know, he over there learning and getting a better understanding of what's really going on beyond the veil, right? And he's becoming a healer of the ages. Now, I want y'all to look at these two cards. When I realized what was going on here, I was like, oh my God. This is literally this older gentleman alchemizing his experience and not only having a rebirth, but it's like he has drunk from the fountain of youth, becoming a younger, more youthful, ambitious version of himself. And the reason why that is because the more you tap into your healing energy, the more you do that shadow work and make peace with your past, transmute and alchemize those past painful energies that held you back, it's like you become more youthful, younger. You know what I'm saying? It's like it does something regenerative to your cells. Y'all, I ain't trying to brag, but in a couple of weeks, mama about to be 40. And I know that I don't look my age. And I also know that when I started this journey, that was something that kind of crossed my mind, because a lot of my experiences, I was like, this shit aging me. You know what I'm saying? But the more I started tapping into my spiritual gifts, surrendering to the journey, tapping into my high priestess nature, and becoming more conscious and more intentional about raising my vibration and my level of consciousness, it's like I become more youthful. You know what I'm saying? So it's like drinking from the fountain of youth as a result of alchemizing those experiences. Why? Because that shit's not there to weigh you down and eat away at you no more. You not only make healthier choices in terms of your eating habits and the people that you surround yourself with, your activities. You're not having sex with people that drain you, those succubus or incubus energies. And so quite naturally, it's going to have a kind of reversing effect when it comes to aging. And bruh literally is like a younger version of him as a result of tapping into this water energy, tapping more into his emotional side, balancing out his masculine and feminine energy, learning how to be more emotionally expressive and intuitive and intelligent. And tapping into their more spiritual side opposed to just book knowledge, money, hoes, clothes, you know what I'm saying? And the things of the patriarchy that will stress you out and have you looking like this at 32. Baby, because that's what's going on out here in these streets. These folks is aging in dog years. 51 is the number that represents the healer of the ages, which breaks down to a 6, because when you have this youth, this health, high level of health and vitality, you are able to have more balance in your relationships. And 6s for me always represent balance in relationship. But this man, he has this bright light shining from his center, so that's like close to the heart chakra and the solar plexus, having more confidence. I'm gonna read some of the commentary from The Magician in the Mirror, and then the healer of the ages. So with this Magician in the Mirror energy, the masculines are being put on notice that an important and powerful time is at hand. You are the alchemist of your life, and just as an alchemist turns base metals into gold, you are now able to transform your difficulties into great blessings. This is true in every area of your life. Claim your power and embrace your intentions in your heart and in your daily life. Direct your destiny, and the mist of the future will clear into brilliant reality. So that's being like confused about which way to go and how to go about it and all of those things, and knowing that whatever happens, I have the power to navigate those waters, and just tapping into that inner well of power that you either didn't know you had, or you knew you had it and you used it for all the wrong reasons. But whatever the case, you're now tapping into this healer of the ages energy, and that is one of it says, this power being brings the force of ancient wisdom and profound healing. The light of divine consciousness pours from his hands and heart, flowing to you with love and a powerful healing intention. This amazing entity is with you now, bringing resolution to physical, mental, and emotional ills, helping to unblock stuck energy and revitalize your life force. Told you that solar plexus. You may have felt this strong presence recently, or you may just be opening to the wonderful sensations. Now, you can call upon this emissary of miraculous transformation whenever you need vitality, balance, or renewal. Know that at the deepest level, an important healing is taking place. And the more the masculines are doing this healing, tapping into their Christ consciousness and healing their solar plexus and learning to operate more from the heart, they want to heal those relationships and those things outside of them that are in disarray or chaos, or aren't balanced, be that through speaking their truth and expressing their feelings, or drawing boundaries. But whatever the case, as within, so without. So as this healing is taking place within the masculine, things are changing drastically outside the masculine. Love that. I think that was all of my notes. Oh, we talked about working with cinnabar. I do want to make the point that when you're working with crystals, period, not just cinnabar, it's going to help assist you with what's going on. It's going to help you make that internal shift energetically inside. But you got to do the work yourself. Crystals ain't just going to make you love yourself. Crystals ain't just going to make you draw boundaries or alchemize your past, or make you automatically more intuitive. You know what I'm saying? You have to choose to actively see what's being presented to you, or you have to choose to draw those boundaries and show up in relationships as one who is affected by the energy of that particular crystal that you set the intention to work with. People are leaning toward working with crystals, wearing 50 crystals every day, and healing sessions and all of the things, and incorporating these things into their lives, thinking that the thing is what's going to make the change. No, you still got to do the work. You know what I'm saying? I keep self-love, I keep rose quartz crystal in my bathroom, because that's where I do a lot of my self-love work, be it through some beauty regimen or taking a bath, energy cleansing bath, or whatever. I still have to do the things. You know what I'm saying? I still have to intentionally run the bath. I still got to get my ass in there. I still got to do the beauty regimen. I still got to affirm myself. I still got to show up in relationships in a way that says that I love myself. I have to still do things for myself that says that I love myself. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's taking a nap, telling somebody to get the fuck out of my face, whatever it look like, I still have to do the work. I still have to do the shadow work to dig into the things that may be preventing me from loving myself more. I still have to do the work. So the crystals and the things and the regimens and all of that, it's not going to do the work for you. It's there to assist you in doing the work. And as a magician, tapping into the magician archetype, that's you using those items to help you manifest that outcome of the healing or whatever it is that you are seeking. I do want to, I know this was a lot. But I'm nosy, and I want to pull from the Oracle of the Mermaids to close us out. And I promise y'all I'm going to make it quick, because we're getting at an hour. I said I wasn't going to rush, but y'all know how I am about these hour-long videos that take forever to upload. But still, please clarify this message that's coming up, as we have created leftovers from Soul Food Sundays. What's the message coming for here for your people spirit? Just one poking out. The call. Summoning, voice to acknowledge, song of the siren. All of this is leading y'all to not only answer the call, but use your voice, strengthen your throat chakra, speak up for yourself. Some of you, your calling involves using your voice, just like how I do. Speaking out about things that you've learned, sharing your experience. The song of the siren, the call. At the top of the deck, telepathy, nonverbal communication, energetic pulses, and mind readings. Doing that energetic work, and then that's very much the case within these masculine and feminine dynamics, where they have not grounded it in a 3D reality, so they have a lot of telepathic communication between one another. But this is going from telepathic to actually talking, actually having that conversation or having conversations in your 3D reality. To reflection, represented by the number 16, what you contemplate can actualize. These are the mirrors of twin flame dynamics, being reflections of one another, seeing one another in each other. This is beautiful, and that's what this whole journey is about. So I hope the message found y'all well. If it did not find you well, I hope that it leaves you well. I hope I ain't confused y'all too much, but I just didn't want to go down this rabbit hole by myself. And as all of this was coming in, I was like, ooh, I've got to do an episode of the leftovers for this, because it's a lot. But if you're needing a personal reader, feel free to email me at turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love to read y'all's comments, and I try to get back to y'all. It ain't a whole lot of them, so it don't be that damn hard. But until next time, y'all, peace.